I've been watching the Bahrain conference. I've been going there virtually. I've been watching it live. I saw a great lady who created the pink taxi, a service for taxis just for women in Egypt, successful 10,000 women drivers. I saw Mohammed El Abar, an Emirati businessman. I saw Faisal Abbas, the editor of Arab News from Saudi Arabia. I saw Secretary Mnuchin is coming up, Tony Blair, Ashraf Jabri from Hebron. There's a lot of hope. There's a lot of Arabs that are dead tired of this business, of the two-state old talk and how to figure it all out. They've realized that there's an impasse. The Jews aren't going anywhere. Let's move on a little bit. Let's end the 100-year war, and let's start dealing with the Jews as a normal part of this region.
Ashraf, I want to get your response, but first I want to go back to Bahrain real quickly. We have Nurit Ben with us. Again, speaking to some of the attendees at the event, hearing what they have to say. Nurit, give us a sense, perhaps, after the close of the summit, the plan, how will it be implemented? What happens after the end of today?
Well, I wish I had an answer for you, but I hope to get one from Jason Greenblatt in about an hour, because that is one of the million-dollar questions, is what really happens after this. I can tell you what's been going on so far in terms of the atmosphere. And as I mentioned before, it is mixed. There are the naysayers. There are the people who say nothing here absolutely can happen at all economically before the political stuff happens, and they're not too optimistic about that. But there is optimism here amongst the business people, and just the fact that everybody is here. All these officials from the Gulf, from Saudi Arabia, Palestinian businessmen, Israeli businessmen. So that is encouraging to some people. Like I mentioned, the Palestinians do have a presence here. We initially thought that only Ashraf Jabari, the Palestinian businessman from the West Bank, would be here, but others are here, but they are understandably flying very low under the radar. They were asked by the Palestinian Authority not to be here, and they chose to do so anyway. So it seems that for them, the risk was worth being here, meeting people here, and maybe getting their businesses off the ground a little bit.
Ashraf, I want to ask about the opportunities in the West Bank. Does it ignore, in your mind, the life on the ground for Palestinians when it comes to starting a business, buying land, freedom of movement? Does this, in your mind, how difficult is it, and does the conference touch on that?
Before I answer your question, I just want to react on what my colleague here said about the Palestinian presence in this, about Jabari and other. They are collaborators. They are isolated from the Palestinian society. There is no chance that they will succeed even in business.
Collaborators with what?
The occupation.
But the Palestinian Authority works with Israel, certainly for security.
They are people who are isolated totally from the Palestinian society, and they will punish. They cannot do any business in the Palestinian territories. If we, yes, punished from the public, punished from by isolating them, by don't dealing with them, even don't doing any business with them. They will be punished totally, and even in business.
Bad news for Ashraf, we're never leaving. We're going to stay in the West Bank because we think it's our ancestral homeland. We have 500,000 people living there. The two-state solution has failed. Oslo is the past, Bahrain is the future. There's new opportunities. If it wasn't for the PA, there would be thousands of Palestinians in Bahrain right now talking about opportunities. But Nurit, in her report, said it's understandable why they don't want to be seen. What's so understandable? What she means is the PA is a violent, thuggish organization which suppresses the will of decent Palestinian people who want to live in peace with Israel, who want to have joint projects with Israel. And he said it. Ashraf said it.
It's their home, too.
That's fine. It's their home.
Should they have a state in their ancestral
They will always have a home. They will always have a home there, but they will not have, in the end, probably. And, of course, this is not what Bahrain is talking about. From our perspective, they will not have a national home there. They will have their homes. They will have their life, their decencies, the upward mobility, the opportunities that Israel affords them. There won't be a Palestine in the end. That's my opinion. But that's what Bahrain is about. Bahrain is about opportunities for a better life.